This is WEEI Late Night with KJ Carson on WEEI.
Late night, WEEI. It's KJ. Turn that up, Justin, because a couple of quarterbacks around the leagues got their lips poked out like Mick Jagger. Hopefully you're having a great Tuesday night. Thank you so much for hanging out. Of course, the big story, Aaron Rodgers signed for the $50 million a year, as I mentioned that he would. Russell Wilson just this evening approved the no-trade clause, waived it, and so now he's heading to Denver for really like everything that Denver didn't have. Like everybody who underperformed just pretty much got pink slips. You're all going to Seattle. That's what makes football great, just the parity. But here in 3 minutes, I'm going to explain to you how Russell Wilson going to the Broncos hurts the Patriots without even playing the Patriots until next year. But first, I got to get on Aaron Rodgers. Justin, how are you? And I don't know if you noticed this on Twitter because I do a lot more reading than I do typing. As the Russell Wilson story was gaining steam and was kind of drowning the Aaron Rodgers breaking news of the day, here comes Aaron Rodgers at about 2:40 this afternoon. Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm still here and there's no rumor to me signing because I did sign. Oh, my God, really? This is what I talk about. A kid, it's funny. I talk about my two daughters. They're 15 years apart. As soon as my oldest daughter comes over the house to visit me, oh, my God, my 10-year-old, she just loses her mind like her older sister's stolen her father. That's Aaron Rodgers. Look, we all know you're staying in Green Bay. We've joked that you and Davante Adams may have to play defense because you guys are going to suck up about $80 million of the cap room, just the two of you. I don't know who's going to – that's what's so funny about that story. I really believe that Aaron Rodgers thinks that he has the same cachet that Tom Brady does. That guys will come and play for league minimum to play with him and be with him and stay in a place in Green Bay. Tampa has no taxes. Wisconsin, you're not even close to Chicago, Wisconsin, and Green Bay. But I believe that's what their thought process is with Aaron Rodgers is, hey, look, we're going to put it all together. We're going to find guys that are going to want to come here and win a ring with you. Just that management doesn't realize their own knowledge. I don't think anyone wants to come play with Aaron Rodgers if they don't have to. Why? And Davante Adams is kind of like, okay, I guess I'll take my $20 million for now. It's going to be a very interesting story. But back to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson coming to the Broncos has decimated the Patriots' playoff chances for this season. But KJ, no, they don't even play. What do they have to do with anything? Do you know how bad the record was for the Broncos? This is a brilliant move by the Broncos because by having such a bad record last year, you get the easier schedule this year. And by the Patriots having such a bad record 2 years ago, they got the easy schedule last year. But now that they're a playoff team, it's a tougher schedule. So let me kind of break down like the AFC hierarchy if there's like two different groups, right? So let's call Group A, and this is in no particular order, the Bills, the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Titans. We're putting the Broncos in this A group now that they have Russell Wilson. All those weapons they had. Look, the worst thing that they had going for them was the quarterback. And they were not only did they give him away, but they gave away like draft picks, a bowl of soup. Dude, go to Seattle. They may be remodeling. They can play next to the train station. Nobody will hear all the boos. The boos will be drowned out. That's how bad they wanted to get rid of Drew Lock in Denver. They believe he's the one they just held up everything. So again, that group ordered number one, the first group: Bills, Bengals, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Titans. Okay. Second group: Ravens, Steelers, Patriots, Raiders, Browns, Miami. All right. So in this first group, I just mentioned the Broncos had the weakest schedule. The Titans had the strongest one. In the second group, the Ravens had the weakest schedule, and the Patriots had the strongest one. Well, in this first group, there's already 6 teams. So if you say where the Titans are already in the AFC South, and that's just an absolutely horrible division, it doesn't matter with their strong schedule. They'll be able to feast on their own division and probably win the division again. All right, so there's your division winner. That's one spot. The Chargers, the Chiefs, the Broncos, it's going to be some exciting football to watch. But again, remember, the Broncos had the weakest schedule. And listen to who the Broncos play and tell me this does not mess this up for somebody in the AFC. The Broncos will host the Jets, the Colts, the Texans. They'll have the Cardinals and Kyler Crybaby Murray a mile up in the sky in Denver, and the 49ers. And I would say the 49ers would be the toughest game there. They've also got the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders. I think this is the year where they finally beat the Chiefs at home, but not necessarily on the road. But they can beat the Chargers and Raiders at home. That's what, 7-1 at home? Oh, but then they go on the road for 9 games. They go to the Panthers, the Ravens, who might turn it around, so I'll call that a push. They got the Jags. The Titans, that'd be tough. And the Rams, that'd be tough. The Seahawks won't. Then they'll play the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders on the road. They could probably beat the Raiders on the road. And I give it a push with the Chargers. So that's what? They lose 3 games on the road? So what? 13-4? And they may not even win their division because the Chiefs, again, they won't have the tough schedule that Chiefs do or that the Chargers do. So where does that leave the Patriots? Oh, the news was kind of bad today. See, because a couple weeks ago, I went over the Patriots schedule, and I've had to make some adjustments. You know what one of the adjustments was? I actually had to turn that Packers win into a loss, but I switched it out. So the Patriots at home, a loss to the Bills. They'll beat the Dolphins at home. They'll beat the Jets. I think the Ravens would be a loss, and the Bengals will be a loss too. I think the Colts will be a loss because if you can't stop that run, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They'll beat the Bears. They'll beat the Lions. 4-4 at home. Sounds familiar? Then on the road, loss to the Bills. They'll beat the Jets. Have they figured out beating Miami at the end of the season? I changed the loss to the Browns to a win. A loss to the Steelers, and I'll get to that shortly. A loss to the Raiders. A loss to the Packers. They'll beat the Vikings. They'll lose to the Cardinals on the road. Total record after adjustments, it's still 7-10. Because Russell Wilson got that weak schedule, and here are the Patriots with the strongest schedule in a second group. But here's a wild card in that second group amongst the Ravens, Steelers, Patriots, Raiders, Browns, and Miami. What about Deshaun Watson and what happens with him? Here's Ian Rappaport.
Just when does that get, settled or even solidified or even remotely close in the area of him being a viable option? When does that happen?
I think they would like his legal situation to be cleared up, and there is a possibility that in the next several weeks the criminal matters get decided. Is he going to be charged or is he not? It's been forever. Maybe we'll get to draft time and we'll still be talking about it like we were last year.
Right.
It's been so long that at some point when we're not talking about Deshaun Watson, it's going to feel very weird to me.
But you know what's going to happen? The league is probably going to want Deshaun Watson to potentially be somewhere where the organization is very, very sound in its structure. So let me say some of these names in this second group again. Ravens, no. Patriots, of course not. Raiders, no. Browns, no. Miami, no. Steelers, oh boy. I could see Deshaun Watson's final landing spot being with the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Mike Tomlin as his head coach and the Rooney family been ensconced in that, they're not new owners. They're what we call old money. He's not in some big city where, I love the nightlife. Pittsburgh is not exactly the place that you say, hey, where's the party at? Usually the answer is, it's right here. Here, have another beer. If the Pittsburgh Steelers can make a move for Deshaun Watson, paired with that defense and possibly some renewed receivers who are dedicated to catching the ball. Oh, gosh. Do I look on my screen here? Do I move the Steelers into that A group too with Deshaun Watson? Let me cut and paste that right there in my notes. Oh, boy. There's 7 teams. Leaving in this B group, the Ravens, the Patriots, Raiders, Browns, and Miami, and the Patriots potentially looking at a 7-10 record. It's KJ Late Night here on WEEI. All right, still to come, we'll talk about what the Patriots are going to do in the draft. And do you trust Steve Belichick with potential fresh young core of defensemen to run and lead them next year, like literally this season? That's still to come, plus the Calvin Ridley parody called 1 Year in the realm of Rob Bass and Easy Rock's It Takes Two to make a parlay to go right. I figured, Justin, you'll love this. That's coming at 10:30. And, of course, round 2 of Wrestle Madness. It's an incredible 2-3 matchup. Ric Flair won last night. Who will he go up against? Who will his opponent be? We'll find that out in the 2-3 matchup. But let's go ahead and trend here on WEEI.
The home for Sox fans.
Now, here's what's trending on WEEI.
Trending now on WEEI and WEEI.com. Big news day in the NFL today as the Seattle Seahawks